أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. My dear elders, brothers, sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I will be speaking in English. Anybody who prefers Gujarati, everybody can understand English? Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So let me start by congratulating you all for having been selected for this spiritual journey. All this time I thought it was selection, and definitely one of the factors is selection. The Imam selects his dua. But when I was doing my research on Arbaeen, years of the ulama, I will mention it later on. With this Arbaeen, invitation of Arbaeen, specifically the Ziyarat of Arbaeen, is an invitation that is given to everybody. And it is an imtihan. And there are very few people who answer the call. So when I read this hadith from my Muslim, I said, I wish I read this hadith earlier, so I would have. Unfortunately, I won't be with you this year. I'm making my niyya from now for next year, inshallah. Every ziyarah, so the ziyarah of Muhammad Hussain is recommended on so many occasions. Eid al-Fitr, on the day of Arafah, 15th of Sha'ban, 15th of Rajab, of course Ashura. But Arbaeen is turning out to be the most important ziyarah in our times. With the way things are going, with the way things are developing, especially the geopolitical situation. Arbaeen is turning out to be the most important ziyarah. And we have to understand this. The Zuwar, we have to be aware of what is going on. And this will make this ziyarah more fruitful. So in the holy month of Ramadan, we recite dua iftitah. And one part of dua, which is again taught by the 12th holy month, we say, Allahumma inna narghabu ilayka fi dawlatin kareema tu'izzu biha al-Islam wa ahlah wa tudillu biha al-nifaq wa ahlah. We are asking Allah, 12th Imam is teaching us to ask for a dawlatin kareema, an honorable kingdom, honorable government, with which the mu'mineen will be elevated. They'll be given izzah, and the munafiqs will be brought down. So this dua has been recited for ages. But coming of the Iranian Revolution 1979, a part of this dua was answered. Now we have an almost, it's not an ideal Islamic government, but they're getting there. It's a pride for each and every Shia. But with the downfall of the Iraqi regime, Saddam Hussein, and the doors opening up, and this movement of Arbaeen taking up, Arbaeen is turning out to be an ideal government. So people won't taste the government of the 12th volume. Ulama say, visit Arbaeen. So the slogan for Arbaeen, as much as it's Labbaik Ya Hussain, it's also Labbaik Ya Mahdi. And you will see this. So the principle worldwide that is being promoted just now. So the reason the West looks very attractive to us, one of the reasons, is because we say it is a place where justice and human rights is respected. People migrate to the West in search of justice and human rights. They'll tell you, injustice, nothing. You don't have ideal justice here. They'll give so many reasons. So that is in one place. But if there was a government whereby you had justice, but above justice you had a sense of sacrifice, whereby a person has the right, but he foregoes that right so that the other benefits. The spirit of sacrifice, so it's above justice, a sense of sacrifice. And this is what Arbaeen is about. So the Arbaeen walk, ulama say, is the ideal Islamic government if you want to taste it. So they say it's 80 kilometers long, 80 kilometers or up to 500 kilometers for those who come from other parts of Iraq. And because it cannot accommodate everybody, everybody is on the move. You cannot be stationary like you're in your own country. You're on the move. So it reminds me of one incident, a funny incident in my school days. I studied in a government school. So at break time, we were given bread, pieces of bread, something like olive oil, small bread. We used to call it mabisi. And they were serving chai also. But chai was limited. And chai was only given to those who had cups. So there are few people who would go and take cups and the chai would be filled. The rest would be just standing in line, waiting with the mabisi to put it in the cup. No? So you get a little bit of the chai and a little bit of your pound. This is similar. This is an ideal Islamic government for a very short time, for 10 days, 15 days, 20 days, up to a month. 25 million people will be there. Everybody will be given a chance to taste for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, as to what it feels like spending time in ideal Islam, whereby this is a sense of sacrifice. So this is one. Secondly, it's a place. How many of you have been to walk for the first time? So there's 4 class. How many of you have been to walk for the first time? It's nothing what you expected. This was my personal experience last year. Whatever you're expecting is very different from your expectation. When we see Hujjaj on the plains of Arafat and Mina, 2 million, 3 million, so when the Muslims will ask, what are they doing? The answer given to them is, this is wajib, it's compulsory. That's why they're on the plains of Arafat. Here you have 25 million people. When they ask, what is the purpose of these people? And they are told it is not a wajibat. It's not like if they don't go to Karbala, they go to hell. It is just pure love. There are the plains of Karbala, 25, 30 million people, it's just pure love that they are there. That's the speciality of Arbaeen. Secondly, thirdly, this is a ziyarah that was not planned 20 years back, or 30 years back, or 40 years back. It was planned almost 1400 years back. At the time of the 6th Holy Imam. So the ulama quote this hadith, whereby the 6th Holy Imam, Ja'far Sadiq alayhi salam, and I'm paraphrasing. When he was asked what's the reward, the ziyarah of Abdullah ibn Hussein, and the 6th Imam says, you will be rewarded for every step that you take for the ziyarah of Imam Hussein. So ulama speak of this hadith, that the person asking, he just asked for a reward, but Imam brought in this concept of walking for the ziyarah of Imam Hussein. This was the foresight of the Imam. And come the time of the 11th Imam, the hadith which describes the 5 signs of the moment, One of them is Ziyarat Arbaeen. This was not a coincidence. It was planned, knowing that at the end of time, this is going to become a symbol for the Muslim Ummah to stand against falsehood. So this should be in our mind. The walk is not the purpose of the ziyarah. It's a means to something. And as we are walking, we have to understand this. We are participating in the government of the 12th Holy Imam. The 12th Holy Imam knows what is going on in our mind. He's seeing our actions, so we have to be careful. Again, ulamas mentioned the ayah of Surah Jumu'ah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم هو الذي بعث في الأميين رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياته ويزكيهم ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة وإن كانوا من قبل لفي ضلال مبين. So it is Allah who raised amongst the inhabitants of Makkah a prophet from amongst themselves. Now see the sequence. Who recites to them his communications. So the Prophet, when he came, he showed them the ayah, the signs, the Holy Quran. Then he purified. وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ. So ulama say this gathering of pilgrims of Arbaeen is a sign of Allah. So when you're coming towards Imam Hussain alayhi salam, you will be shown the signs. There is so much to see on this walk. So you're being shown the signs. There's another hadith of the 7th Holy Imam says that everything that is shown to you has a lesson in it for your eyes. So right from day one, when you start walking, you'll be seeing things around you. You'll be feeling things. Allah is showing you signs as an initial step, which will take you towards purification and your ilm. So there are signs for which you have to be alert and awake, witness and take lesson. Again, the ulama tell us in the other ziyarat, so people can go for ziyarat at any time of the year. They can go for makhsus, they can go for ghair makhsus, they can do ziyarat on their homes, they can do it in small groups, they can do it in families. But Arbaeen is one time where ulama say you have to travel together with the rest of the world. So pilgrims from 90 different parts of the world, 90 different countries will be participating. So this is one ziyarah whereby everybody is encouraged and join this party because it is turning out to be a sign it is becoming a signboard, it's becoming a slogan for Islam. The righteous government in preparation for the 12th Holy Imam. At the same time, it's an avenue to bring down the governments, the Munafiq governments. And if you see, there will be no media coverage. The mainstream media, BBC, CNN, Fox News is not going to cover this here. So it is important for maximum number of people to attend, to take photos, to write articles, to experience and send it back when they go back to their countries or while they are in trial. 25 million people sending information back because there will be no mainstream media coverage. So this was number 6. Number 7, very important. There's a verse, chapter 4, verse number 64. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وما أرسلنا من رسول إلا ليطاع بإذن الله. Then this part. ولو أنهم إذ ظلموا أنفسهم جاءوك فاستغفروا الله واستغفر لهم الرسول لوجدوا الله توابا رحيما. We recite this verse as part of the ziyarah of the Holy Prophet on Saturday. It says, when they were unjust to themselves, they come to you, if they came to you, they came to the Holy Prophet and asked for forgiveness from the Holy Prophet. And then the Holy Prophet forgiveness for them, then Allah surely would have forgiven them. So Arbaeen walk, as we say, the geopolitical situation is such that it is taking shape in preparation for the government of the 12th Khalifa. Maximum number of people need to go there, witness and know what they are doing and prepare themselves to witness this government, to take part in this government and send information back. But more importantly, we all have our shortcomings. We all have our sins, we have our bad habits. We've had our previous life which was sinful. So this ayah says, if you come back to the Prophet and you ask for forgiveness, the tawassul that people are talking against, this is clear. Come to the Holy Prophet, ask for forgiveness. Holy Prophet will ask forgiveness for you. So there's a story which Arbaeen relates, which happened at the time of the 6th Khalifa, which is based on this verse. Zurara was one of the famous companions of the 6th Khalifa. He had a neighbor who was working for the government at that time, but he was an alcoholic. Daru. Zurara being Zurara, companion of the 6th Imam, thought it was his duty, because it was his neighbor, to go and teach him, please, I'm naked. This is not right what you're doing. He didn't leave him, because this is your bad habit, you are even sure. So Zurara goes and tells him, please, stop this habit. So this man says, Zurara, you're a very good man, but our ideas don't match. I can't stop this habit, and our ideas don't match. You just leave me alone. One day, something happened in his heart, this day. And he comes to Zurara and tells him, I can only become a good person if your master does something for me. Your master, meaning the 6th Holy Imam, does something for me, only then will I change. So Zurara says, I'm going to Medina and I will relate this message to the 6th Holy Imam. And I'll convey this message. When Zurara comes to Medina, he tells the 6th Holy Imam that I have this neighbor who is an alcoholic. But this is what he told me. If only the 6th Imam, if your master does something for me, only then will I change. Imam says, I know about it. Imam knew about this incident already. So Imam tells him two things. He tells Zurara, when you go back, tell this man. Number one, ask him to stop eating unlawful money, haram money. One, and ask him to stop sinning. Ask him to stop sinning. Gunani, don't sin. Stop feeding yourself with haram money and don't sin. 6th Imam says, if he does these two things, I will take care of his past. So when Zurara comes back, many people came to visit Zurara. One of them was his neighbor. When everybody left, this neighbor came to him. He says, did you convey my message? He says, yes. So this Zurara gives him the message of the 6th Khalifa. You stop eating unlawful money and stop selling, 6th Imam will take care of your past. A few days later, a message came into Zurara telling him that your neighbor is calling you. From his house, is calling you. So Zurara goes to the neighbor's house, and the neighbor is standing there behind the door. He's not even opening the door, he's just showing his face. And he's telling Zurara that I've given away everything that I had. I don't even have clothes, because even my clothes were haram. I've even given away my clothes. And this is my state now. I have worked on the sayings of your master. And he kept, thereafter he kept on reminding Zurara that remember the promise of your master. After a few days, this alcoholic neighbor dies. On his next trip, Zurara, when he goes to Medina to the sixth Holy Imam, as he enters, the brother sixth Imam tells him, I know your neighbor has passed away. And as per my promise, I took care of his past. He did his part and we did our part. And he died a mu'min. So, the conclusion to this. Zurara himself did not go for ziyarah. Sorry. The neighbor did not go for ziyarah. Zurara went on his behalf. Here, you are all going to the Imam yourselves. It's a chance for reform. If we are the same now and from the time we come back, when we come back and we assess ourselves, if we have not changed, if there is no reform, the whole principle of that Arbaeen is reform. If you have not reformed, then we've wasted this opportunity. One. Secondly, this man did not even believe in Wilayah of the sixth Holy Imam. Yet the Imam helped him. What about us? We are the two followers of Imam. You can imagine what Imam can do for us. Number two. Number three, the best dua that you can do on this ziyarah trip. Allahumma ja'al awaqiba umurina khayra. Allah, make the last moments of my life good. That's the most testing time for a moment whereby we're going to lose our faith. So the best dua ulama say to do in your ziyarah or any time of your life, Allahumma ja'al awaqiba umurina khayra. Allah, make the last moments of my life khayr. And lastly, you're not going to only one Imam, you're going to 6 Imams. It's not only Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Imam Ali alayhi salam, the Imams of Arbaeen, the Imams of Samara. So we have 6 chances. 6 holy Imams, 6 personalities, 6 chances for reform. We should not be wasting this chance. Ulama say the criteria for making the ziyarah more fruitful. Number 1 is faith, Iman. إِلَى الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. So strengthen your iman. Tawheed, Adl, Imamah, Nubuwah, and Qiyamah. The Usul. Do some reading, strengthen your faith. It will make the ziyarah more productive. Number 2, have the ma'rifah of the Imam. Know who an Imam is. For those of you who want to know more, if you want to know more about the ma'rifah of the Imam, read your books around. One that I found to be very useful is Sheikh Sakaleshwar. He given a series of lectures somewhere whereby he talks about the concept of Imam in detail as to who an Imam is. So increase your ma'rifah, number 2. Number 3, make your intention very sincere. Everything is based on the niyyah. So make your intention very, very sincere. It will make the ziyarah more fruitful. Number 4 is taqwa. Stay away from sins. While you're in ziyarah, stay away from sins. Number 6, the ulama say that the more difficult the action, the more the reward. So if an action is difficult, if the walk is difficult, if there's difficulty in the hotel, there is crowd, people are pressing you, so much of difficulty. And this ziyarah is going to be the hardest as far as weather is concerned. It's going to be the hottest Arbaeen ever since the Arbaeen walk started. So it's not a joke. For those who went for Hajj this year, they say it was the hardest Hajj ever. Temperatures are very high. So there's going to be a lot of difficulty. But the ulama say the more the difficulty, the better the reward. So rather than complaining, have a lot of sabr, knowing that the reward for the ziyarah is more. Right at the end, this whole discussion about tawassul, I mentioned this in the previous briefings. Ayatollah Tahrir says tawassul is of three types, of three levels. Tawassul number one is when you do something for the Imam. So ziyarah, majlis, dua, the wasila of the Imam. That is one level. Level two is doing an amal the way the Imam has done it. So if you open Muqaddimah al-Jinan, Shaykh Abbas Qumi mentions exactly how the Imam had performed this ziyarah. There was a ghusl, and this is what he recited with a lot of ma'rifah, and this is the way he stood. He stood on the head side, and then he stood on the feet side. So do it the way the Imam has done it. That's level two. So even when you are in ziyarah, spiritual practices, speak less, eat less, do a lot of dhikr, do a lot of charity. This is the way the Imam used to perform the ziyarah. Number two, and the highest level of tawassul, and I end with this. So the first level is to do something for the Imam. Second level is to do things the way the Imam had done it. And the third level is to know that the Imam is watching. Whatever action you are doing, Imam is watching you. If we keep this in mind, it will change our ziyarah. Moment by moment, it's not that he's just watching us when we're in the haram, but even in the hotel while we're walking. My personal experience, I found the walk to be more spiritual than the time in the hotel or the time in the haram. Because there was a level of difficulty, there was a level of simplicity, there was a level of unity, there was a level of sacrifice. There were so many lessons. The walk becomes more of a spiritual journey than the haram itself. The harams are going to be very crowded, very easy to lose focus. You won't be able to go anywhere close to the Gari. But haram is the haram. Not that you should not go to the haram, but make use of the walk. If you're going through the walk, even if it's for half a day, for one day, that's the spiritual experience of Arbaeen. Last advice, ulama say, increase your capacity. There is so much to do on ziyarah trip, but increase your capacity to do amal. So one of the best acts that I have found to be helpful, and I have seen ulamas doing it all the time, is namaz Jafar Tayyar. Slightly long, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Very important. If you do this salah, it increases your capacity to do other things in ziyarah. That is one. And secondly, once during your ziyarah, or once in every haram that you visit, go through Ziyarat al-Jami, Ziyarat al-Jami al-Kabir. This will give you the ma'arifah of whom you are visiting. You are reciting the ziyarah, you are going through the meaning, and suddenly you look up and you see that this person is against, in front of you. The Zari is in front of you. This holy personality who was described in the ziyarah is buried right in front of you. That's very special. It's a long ziyarah, recited with meaning, inshallah. Can't do anything, at least these two things. Inshallah, whenever you do it, remember us in your du'as, inshallah. We pray for your safety, inshallah. You may go safely, you come back. May it be the best spiritual experience that you've ever had. May you come back reformed, because more than yourselves, we need you. When we get the smell, the government of the Imam, people who have not gone, people who have not been fortunate enough, we can see the taste. When we see you, inshallah, we will remember the government of the Imam. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.